Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Well, first, let me welcome every one of you to our Westbury office, to the 3-day academy. For those of you who took the time off to be here, you know they said 90% of success is showing up. Give yourself a hand. Yeah, well, my name is Iqbal Sharif, and on behalf of all the leaders in New York, I just want to welcome everyone to this academy. Guys, you're in for a treat. This is going to really take your business to a level beyond your imagination. You just got to take a lot of notes. You're going to hear from some really, really powerful people. We're very thankful to have our CEO with us. We've got special guests like Fuji from Virginia. We've got Zui came in from California. These are all experienced people that will teach you everything you need to know to make money in this business. So let's give them a hand for taking the time out. I tell you, take a lot of notes, whatever you have. If there's some stuff that you are hearing for the first time and you don't understand, this is your time. This is your time to ask questions. Make sure you have clarity of everything that you're hearing, because this is really setting you up to go out in the field and start making money. So whatever you don't understand, don't hesitate. Ask questions, because when you ask a question, the rest of the folks will learn from it, okay? So take advantage of that. Again, thank you for coming. I will turn this over to the guy that's responsible for putting this together. And I'm so thankful for him to be my sponsor in this business, all the way from Fort Lauderdale, Vice Chairman Sattie Narain.
All right. Hey, give Iqbal a big hand. Give him a big hand. First, let me get this. Did make a few notes. It's so important. I really don't want to miss anything that we really have to say here today, because each and every one of you that took the time to come here today, the next 3 days, the 72 hours that you're going to invest. See, a lot of people use terminology like, we'll spend 72 hours. But you're actually investing 72 hours into your business. That's what you're doing. You know, we're talking about the industry. Think about this for a second. Why are we having this? The industry is saying it's the fastest growing financial service company that we have right now. That's our company. And they're saying any company or company that licenses and trains financial professionals is going to write a story in history that's never been told before. Well, each and every one of you, I got a couple of goals that you need to walk out of here with in the 72 hours. The 72 hours are a couple of goals. Number one goal is you got to learn how to do an FNA. You have to learn how to do an FNA. Okay? The number two goal is you got to make sure that whatever you're learning here today, you need to take full responsibility of making sure you can pass this information on to somebody else. Okay? Because that's the way our system works. That's the structure of our company. It's not about how much I know or Chris Prasad knows or the CEO knows or Ken knows. It's about do we have the ability that what we know that we can pass it on to other people. And the people that are master how to do that duplication process, those are the people that their income stream will go beyond that you wouldn't believe. You know, we came in here, I joined this business February 18th, and from February 18th to today, we're close to 2,000 people into the business underneath us. And it's because of all the hard work that so many people in this room have done, going to the meetings, the presentations, not sleeping really till 2, 3 in the morning, right, Dewey? Just all the things that we have done. Well, the filtering process is, this is what we have for the people that are leadership here, some people that came from Florida and different places, but you got to make sure that, tell us you need to go to the registration desk and get a name tag. You need to go to the registration desk and get a name tag. So you got to make sure that whatever you're learning here today, that you can actually duplicate it, right? Now, as far as the FNA, pay close attention how to do an FNA. On Saturday, we're going to be doing role play, where you're actually going to sit down with somebody. We're pretending it's a husband or wife, or maybe you did bring your wife in Saturday, we'll create some kitchen tables so you can actually do a kitchen table and see all the scenarios. I see Catherine shaking her head like this. We can't wait for that, right? How do you come up with suitability, solutions, and different things? So you got to learn all those type of different things. You're going to learn more details about all the products here. You're going to learn more about the structured strategy. And the number one thing I want you to take away from here is have the promotion side of your business going on. See, we're very lucky that we have a CEO that's thinking along the side of the field. And they're talking about bringing 5 people in, doing 5 FNAs in 25 days, and we're going to put you as the National Marketing Director. Now, we get a forensic going on with that. Guys, you're going to watch. You see this class right here? We should have about 75 people that's sitting in this room. Okay? You figure out 75 people who are licensed, 75 people who can do an FNA, 75 people know all the products and services, 75 people know how suitability, 75 people know if you did 10 applications, you should have 10 recruits, right? That's the building process. So if you can walk out of here within 72 hours and get that and continue getting your mentoring or whatever you do to keep your business and your mental straight, that's what you have to do. Before I actually bring Sattie up, think about the business that you're in today. You're in a business where for a small investment of $300 a year, you get to invest a few dollars on your self-improvement side of the business. If the government and the industry is saying this is the #1 industry to be in, they know a better industry to be in. I don't care how if gold is $4,000 an ounce. This is better than gold, okay? So you're in an industry where 260 million people need all the things that we do as a company. I mean, we got the radio coming up. You remember when we asked you how you feel?
Quantum strong.
Some people forgot that. How do you feel?
Quantum strong.
All right.
Welcome, Jim, Randy, QS2 Nation. We're here in beautiful Long Island, New York, and Rocky is leading the crowd right now, and they want to tell you something, and they're going to say it as loud as they can as far as how they're feeling this morning. Let's hear it.
Quantum strong.
You hear that, Jimbo? He said it was loud. Yeah, they yelled quantum strong. Everyone's feeling quantum strong right now. And we're happy. Packed house here in Charles Powell's great office, QS2 headquarters here in Westbury in the mall. Everyone's getting ready for a 3-day information pack. Rocky's getting him charged up. They're going to be sat down in a second. What I'd like to do is hand the phone to Rocky and let him say a few things. Hold on a second.
QS2 Nation. Good morning, Jim. Fantastic. Well, we got a bunch of people here, their eyeballs are jumping out, they can't wait to learn, they can't wait to earn, they can't wait to get promoted, they can't wait for this school to finish so they can get out there and do all the things and practice swinging the bat that we're going to get them here, because this is all about throwing the ball at people and getting people swinging the bat. We're excited to kick this off. And how's everybody feeling?
Quantum strong.
We'll turn it back to you guys.
Hey, Jim. Hey, we got one more special guest. Hey, we got one more special guest. Charles Powell, who is hosting this event, doing a great job. Office is beautiful. I can say a couple of things to the QS2 Nation. Hold on.
QS2 Nation, what's happening? We are definitely quantum strong. Well, I'm excited about these guys here. We are packed in here. We're going to even pack them in even more. And we even have a facility here in this mall to do 400 people strong. So this is the first of many.
All right, Jimbo, back to you guys. Hey, back to you. You guys have a great call. We're getting into the training right now, right? Thank you.
Okay, give him a big hand. Okay, going back, you come into a business for $300, you spend a couple of $1,000 along your career. I can tell you myself, in the past 25 years, I've probably spent over $1 million in self-improvement, going to seminars, webinars, listening to people talk, listening to biographies, buying books, buying tapes, you name it. I've spent money in all those areas because I wanted to get better and better and better. Because the day I joined the financial service industry, I learned very quickly that if you want to make the kind of money you want to make here, you got to be totally committed to self-improvement along the way. Right? Not go to school one day and then never went back to school. You got to constantly improving yourself all the time. So I commend all of you here today for being here today. Remember a couple of things. The insurance industry, the financial service industry is a sophisticated industry. It has a level of elegance. So when you wear the hat by getting a license and you go through the process of becoming a financial service person, okay, you wear that hat of elegance, you wear that hat of excellence. And that's why we bring you and put you in a class like this, to get inside your head and share with you what you have to do when you get up here. Some of us have a lot of experience, some of us don't have any experience. Sometimes people with experience, I wish I could get a vacuum cleaner and suck it all out to them and then betray them. Right? So the people that don't have any experience, you're actually on the cutting edge rather than the people with experience. I would give the people an edge that don't have any experience because you don't have any bad habits. Okay, so we don't have to undo the bad habits before we get into new habits. So as you sit here today, you really want to pay attention. Take note of everything you can, record what you want, because when you walk out of here in 72 hours, remember our goal is for you to be able to transfer people. Transfer what you have and have the ability to show people whether it's licensing, contracting, solutions, coding, all the things that we're going to go through today. So pay attention to them. I wouldn't miss 1 day or 1 minute of this school if you're serious about making a six-figure income a month. I don't think you can take the day off for 72 hours to learn how to make $3,000 a month. Is anybody here interested in learning how to make a six-figure income a month?
Yes.
Is anybody here really want to make a six-figure income a month?
Yes.
Okay, with that, did everybody say yes?
Yes.
Because if you didn't say yes, I would assume you want to make more. Right? So I want to get started now, and before I get started, I want to just ask one trivial question. Anybody here like baseball?
Yes.
Who likes baseball? Well, here's a baseball question for you. And I'll bring Sattie up and we'll kick this thing right off. Okay? Who's the two people in the Baseball Hall of Fame that has nothing to do with baseball? Anybody? Okay. Ahmad and Costello. You remember that one? Who's up first? Okay, with that being said, I want to introduce Sattie here this morning because we want to get right into the game here. I know our CEO is here, but we're going to warm up things before we get him in here because he has a lot to talk about and to share with us about the future. But before we worry about the future, let's worry about right now. How do you start building this business? How do you start duplicating this business? How do you start getting yourself to start earning the kind of money that we've been talking about all along for the past 6 months? So Sattie's my wife, many of you know her. Sometimes she's your personal secretary more than mine. Right? And I'm talking from 9 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the morning, 7 days a week. Because since we joined this business 6-7 months now, on the 18th of this month, we'll be now finishing our 7th month into this business. Okay? And I tell you, in the 7th month that we invest our time into this business, I can't think of one day where we went to bed before 12 midnight. Okay, that's not normal for us. Our norm is 1:30, and we talk all hours of the night, 1:30, 2 o'clock every single night. And it's because we believe in what we're doing. Okay? We believe in what we're doing. If you have any negative thinking that you think this don't work, none of that, let me tell you something. You're looking at two people that invest their lives to make this thing continue to happen and continue to build on a daily basis. So with further ado, I'm going to introduce it to Sattie. She's going to take it and we'll run from here. So pay attention to what she's saying. Sattie Narain, give her a hand.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Just to let everybody know, we have nice binders. We have everything that we're going to be covering today. It should hopefully, we're getting some other things delivered, so we should have it hopefully by noon today. So whatever we're going to go through, just make note. We have pens. If you need paper, let us know that you need to really make notes on this. And then everything we're going to go through, we'll do a little bit of a recap tomorrow. Just to let you know, the floor is open. Ask questions. This is actually, we're in school, we're learning, so ask questions. If I don't have the answer, we have a lot of people back here that does have the answer. So just let's get started with that one. How many people here are already licensed? Excellent, excellent. So what we're going to do is start off with, we're taking this, the way we're doing this is when a person comes in, and if you're licensed, and even if you're not licensed, you're in a position where you're hiring people, so you still need to know what we're explaining to you today. So basically what I'm going to do is taking you through the QS2 website, and we're going to start step by step, and I'm not going through the whole site by myself, but we're going to start with what do you do when you come into the business, other than you're signing into the company, and then you take it upon yourself to play with the site. When we started, that's what we did. I played with every single item there was on this site. I went and I learned, and there's a lot of changes since when we started, but now you'll be able to go through and, update yourself every so often. I would say every week go through the whole system and just see what's new and what's not new, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through, you're going to log into your QS2 site, right? And within the QS2 site, if you're a licensed person, we have 3 different areas where we're talking about licensing, okay? So license number 1 is your life and health license. That's your main license, right? So we're going to do the contracting process. There's going to be 3 steps to this. Your life license, then we're going to do your P&C license, and then those of you that are healthcare licensed, some of you are, I don't know about New York, but I know like in Florida, there's a lot of just like licensed healthcare people, not life, not anything else. So I think there is options where you can do separate ones. Again, I'm not very familiar with the New York way of doing it, but okay, so you can do okay. All right, so what we're going to do is our priority in this company is life license, right? So what we do is, and we might want to take some of these, if anybody wants to contract an appointment and so forth, we're going to take you through that as well. So the first thing you do is, when you log onto your site, you go to the dashboard. When you go to the dashboard, you're going to have all these beautiful icons here, right? This is changing, it's growing, and I think it's great because it does give you step-by-step. So, first thing we all do when we join, when you're hiring people, we're gonna break all these icons down later on. So first thing is your FNA. So if you are a new person or you're hiring people, you want to complete your new hires FNA. If you were not licensed to do or complete that FNA and get all the information, you get the next upline person to help you with the FNA for that. All right? If your FNA, yes.
Do you need to have your life license to do the FNA, or can you do it and then you're upline to do the sales?
You can do it. I recommend because you don't want to go back and forth with people too many times. I recommend that your next upline person that is licensed,
okay,
the 2 of you reach out to the person, your upline, and let them walk you, and you guys put together a plan how you're going to do this, right? The FNA is not as detailed as I personally like it. Within the FNA, we're going to go through really detailed explanation of the FNA, but the company, you have to fill out the FNA to get the red blinking light off your name, right? Or you're not your name, but your downline's name. So make sure who hires you. Make sure that when you see there and they're not calling you, you make sure you call them and say, look, I need this off. I need this red off my name, right? So you get that off. We have 2 versions of the FNA, and we're going to go through detail by detail because I personally think the FNA is probably one of the most important things in this business. So I think if you learn the FNA properly, you will be able to, every product we offer as a company, you will be able to know if a person qualifies for any of those products. So that's the FNA part of it. We're going to go through again detailed FNA. Right now I'm going to go through just this really quick, and then I'm going to show you as far as contracting what you need to do. So the next thing will be quoting. We're not doing quoting right now. So FNA number 1, you make sure your FNA is completed, and who you hire, you need to complete their FNA. Second thing is the thing I'm going to talk about now is contracting. Contracting is within the QS2 system. You want to go into contracting. And this here is about, I personally think is very, very easy. What we're going to do with contracting is, it tells you here, again, I have handout and I have actually instructions that you're going to get in the binder with this. So you're going to go to contracting, and when you go to contracting, this is for people that are life licensed, life health, and annuity, okay? So that's what this portion here is about. So basically, before you get started actually going into the system to go get contracted, you want to make sure that you have your E&O, and you want to make sure you have your anti-money laundering certificate. Anti-money laundering is, I don't know, I've only heard one state that doesn't really require it. If you guys know anything else, let me know. The only state I'm aware of that doesn't really require it is California on an annual basis, but I know, and the carriers may require it. Although the state of California doesn't require it, maybe the carriers will require it. Me personally, I would just do it every year, January 1st, just get it over with. Here's a free site that you can get. It's called successce.com. So free AML. Libra is also another site where you can go get the free anti-money laundering certificate as well. Some carriers only want LIMRA, and some carriers will take others. I know like Prudential and so forth, those carriers, they'll want LIMRA, right? So far, I have used Success CE for everything. It's free, and it's only, I think it's like a 1 hour class that you can take it online, and then you take, it's like 5 questions on the test. In my opinion, it's all common sense questions, right? So within that, you do your AML. Now, when you go to get it free, when you go into your Success CE, you register yourself, keep your user ID and password. When you keep your user ID and password, you're going to log on there, you're going to click on the map, the state that you were, your resident state, right? When you click on that, you scroll down and it's going to say AML, right? Click on AML. I'm just telling you because there's a trick in the system of getting it free. So you click AML, and then don't hit checkout, you scroll to the bottom, and then there's like a color box. It might be, one day it might be green or pink or yellow, it changes color. Click on the bottom, go scroll all the way down, click on the bottom, and then you click, it says AML, you click on that, then you go back up, and then you hit checkout, right? If you hit checkout before that, it starts to be like $40, right? So you don't want that. So that's how you get the free AML. You register, you take the class. Instantly, as soon as you complete the 1 hour or the 5 question test, it gives you where you can file, you save, everything you try to do is you save it on your desktop so you can go ahead and get appointed properly. So basically what you do is you save it, your certificate comes out, and you save it. All of these things I'm going to tell you, you save it on your desktop because you're going to have to upload it into this site we're going to go into in a minute, right? So you need the next step after your AML, of course, you need your E&O insurance. I also printed out the E&O and step-by-step of this. If you click, I don't know if it'll let me out of these things, but let me click E&O coverage. There's going to be 3 companies you can pick from that the company gives you that you can use here. You guys can play around and check it out. Me personally, I checked them, and I think the very first one, which is CalSurance, I think that is the least expensive. But I think that one only goes from annual basis, meaning from January 1st to December 31st, and then you renew come January 1st, right? So you just got to make sure you're renewing your E&O. If you've never done the business, you don't need to go and get that most expensive E&O. Just get the $1 million coverage, and you'll be fine. If you're seasoned in the business for years and years, I know like Chris probably has to get the maximum amount of E&O and so forth, but it depends on, you get the least expensive one, I think. The next thing is, any of you that have any credit blemish, any little thing that you think that you need to explain, then you write a letter of explanation, you save it in a PDF, and you keep that in your computer as well. So when you do your registration for E&O, you get to save this certificate, and I'm telling you this because, like I said, again, you're going to upload all this into the SureLC site. So with all that said, those 3 items, you get a credit, an explanation for any kind of credit issue, and the reason I'm saying that is when you're going through registering with or getting contracted, there's going to be disclosure questions. What I can tell you is you don't hire a secretary to do to have your group complete this contracting process. There's a lot of legal things that are being asked here. So you want to make sure that whoever is the licensed person, you want to make sure that person's actually sitting there answering these questions, right? So after you do your backup with the PDF of your credit explanation, if you do indeed have something, you keep that on your desktop, and what you do is those are your 3 things that you're going to need. That's when you hit this button, Get Started. When you hit Get Started, I don't want to go through this entire thing, but when you hit Get Started, it's going to ask you some questions here, and this is where a lot of people get caught up. You really need to answer all these questions because it will make it easier for you, not just the red. And the reason is because within the system after you're done, it prompts you for certain things, so you want to make sure you consistently go through. If you answer all these things, it'll follow you all the way through, right? You don't have to do it over and over. So when you do this now, if you're brand new and you have never done this before, then you need to fill out this. If you've already completed this process here, just hit cancel. And what will happen is, because I know a lot of people go back and re-enter this thing. If you hit cancel, it'll just ask you for your user ID and password, which you created right here. These 2 spots, here's your email, which is your user ID, and the password is whatever you create. If you hit cancel, it'll take you right back up to where you're already in your back office, right? Now, after you do this, there's going to be green check marks at the bottom. Every one of them, it starts off with red, it starts off with the red check marks. Every check mark has to be green by the time you're done. I don't know if most of you or any of you have done this or had any issues, but the system actually, you need like a computer where it'll take a picture of you. You know, it's a snapshot. That'll be in the E&O part of it. So when you're ready to upload your E&O, it'll take a snapshot of you and then you move on. So it'll be green, green, green. By the time you're done, everything is green. The next step would be, it'll ask you about getting appointed. Appointed is a second step, right? So contracting is making sure everything is uploaded for you here, so it's in the system. The next step, step 2, is appointment. Appointments are what you're requesting the carriers to appoint you, right? Don't go and clicking away with all these carriers. We've got a ton of carriers there. Anybody, I've had people call me and ask me, do you have this, do you have this? Well, if you would have uploaded your information, you would see the list of the carriers. We have got, and you'll get all this in your package as well, we've got a list of carriers, the preferred carriers. We're asking you to use the preferred carriers, and the reason is because me personally, I have gone through, and I've tested a lot of these, and I can tell you that the preferred carriers are really, they're very, very good. They're going to give you every product there is out there that you will need. There's nothing that I can personally tell you that there's missing that you don't, that you want that we don't give you. Okay? So you're going to get the binder with the preferred carrier list. You pick from that preferred carrier list of who you want to get contracted from by, right? The contract, me personally, don't go and start clicking away, because more than likely what will happen is they'll ask you, do you have business to submit? And you'll probably say no. So don't go ahead and click away, click away. Most states will go ahead and let you, as long as you're contracted, you can go ahead and get started writing business, but before you submit the business, that's when you go back to the system and request to get appointed with whichever the carriers. My personal favorite, and you know, we have other speakers that will tell you who they like and so forth, and by all means use whoever you want to use. My personal favorite, I've been using a lot of American General, Banner, and in New York it's called William Penn and US Life of New York, right? I've been using and I've been able to do everything I need to do with those two companies. So I know other states, I think Suri will tell you about other companies you could use for other states too with different types of products, okay? So I'm going to come back out of here, and I don't know if I'm going to lose it here, but let's see here. All right, so that's what, sorry. All right, so then after you get contracted, we're going to go through, so we've got contracting. How many of you are not licensed here at all? Okay. Are you in classes? Have you already started taking classes?
In October, I'm going.
October, okay. You can do online classes, or you can do classes that is, you know, classroom style, you know, classes. If you're going to do the classroom style classes, what I would recommend you doing is, what I would want you to do is make sure that the classes, while you start your classes, don't wait till the class is over. You can start your process with the state, or whatever state it is. You can start the process to go ahead and actually apply with the state. If the state requires you to do fingerprints, whatever it is, you can do that while you're in the licensing process, right? And the reason I'm telling you that is when you're done, after you're done with the class, the last thing you want to do is wait another month for things to happen. You want to get going like immediately while this stuff is fresh in your head. So if you're starting, if you register for the class, you can go ahead and register with your state for the license, do your fingerprints, so by the time you're done with your class, you should be ready to go. You should be able to go take your test, get licensed, and then you're ready to start doing business. Start doing business meaning you can go get contracted and then reach out to the upline or whoever within your team that you're designated to. Hopefully the person that brings you in tells you who will help you do your field training. I can tell you a lot of people that are licensed, they think that because they're licensed, they can go ahead and start writing business. I guarantee you can't do it. I don't know a person here, and I know I for sure, if you can write business as soon as you get a license, you know, I give you a lot of credit, but you need to get the field training. I personally recommend you do your field training before while you go through the licensing process, because it will help you understand suitability and so forth in your test, right? So that's what I would recommend. Give me 1 second. down here, and oh, I'm sorry, let me back up to licensing. Those of you that want to go ahead and get licensed and do it online, I don't, it depends on your style of studying. AD Banker, they're actually very good, and this is the discount package through QS2, so you can go and pick whichever package you want. What I can recommend, and I really think that helps, is flashcards. So whenever you're doing this, if you buy a package with flashcards, I personally think it really, really helps. Just, a little advice there. You begin your enrollment process, and then you get going with that. Now, appointment process. Again, we talked a little bit about appointment process. Within that appointment process, when you're ready to start doing business with the carrier, that's when you request your appointment with the carrier. The reason is I'm asking you not to go and click 5 or 6 carrier requests. Number one, they'll probably ask you again if you have business to submit. If you don't have business to submit, guess what? They're probably going to decline you, and if you get a notice that says you're declined, you're probably going to get all bummed out and say, oh boy, here we go again, But you're not really declined. They really want you to have business. Now, if you do really get declined, answer the questions. The carrier will send you a letter. All you have to do is answer the questions, and if you need help with the questions, or you need help on how or what's going on, or you have no clue, give me a call and I will be happy to help you, because I have a couple people. So far I've not had one person that we've actually gone back to the carrier. I have not had one person that was actually ever declined, to be honest with you. You give them a letter of explanation, they'll come back. They might have a little few things there, but they'll tell you to write a detailed letter of explanation. But unless somebody else has or any other thing, I've never had a single person really getting declined, and that's me personally, that I know of, right? Now, there are a few carriers that you cannot write business with first before you get appointed. The only one, and I don't know, maybe other people might know of anything here, I think Foresters is the only one that you have to go through contracting with Foresters before they will allow you to write business with them. Other than that, I can't think of anyone else. And that's basically it for that part of it. Those are my three topics that I'm talking to you about now, and then we're going to go into more details. Oh, you know what? I forgot 2 other topics. Sorry. Now, that is for the life part of it. The next part is P&C, and this is really very easy. So if you are P&C licensed, you would go to products, and you would go just click down to P&C, and you click on P&C. Now, P&C you do not need E&O insurance for, right? So the E&O is just for the life part of it. This is SME. This is the site that will take you through with the P&C portion of it. This is basically your membership application. Right here, it's 5, 6, this here, right here. This is your questions here. You fill in the blanks. Now, there's different, and I think they're going to talk more detail about P&C in a little bit, so I'm not going to go too much detail. But this is your contracting part for the P&C license. After you do this part of it here, there's going to be, I think, like 4 e-signature spots. You do the e-signature. Now, this is where everybody kind of forgets you have to do it. It specifically tells you after you've done click e-signature, go to your email, because they're sending you an email to confirm that it really is you. Go to your email and accept it. If you don't accept it, then it's not going to happen. So far, just about everybody I talk to that have an issue, they forget to go to their email and accept it, right? And then there are videos here. I'm getting people calling and asking me, and I really can't answer the questions for you. The company, I think, has done a really, really good job of explaining everything here. And right here, there's some videos, short videos, not long. And it's not boring. So, you go in here, you watch these videos, and it'll tell you step by step of what you need to do. For P&C license, I highly recommend you do this part of it. The third thing, this is P&C now, right? And then we're going to get in more detail with all these products here in a little bit. The third thing I need everybody to do, I sent out an email to our team, our hierarchy, about a week ago, and I got calls like you wouldn't believe. So this is really very simple. All I'm asking you to do is, the company is trying to get payroll done, that we're trying to do everything as fast as we can do it. The problem here is many of you are licensed and some of you are not licensed. You got to understand this is a very serious business. They cannot make a mistake and pay somebody that is not licensed. So what we need you to do is, if there's a holdup with payroll, probably because somebody in the chain didn't do what they were supposed to do. And we have a payroll person that will sit there and call each person to make sure if their information is not in the system. They will call you. If somebody takes 4 or 5 days to respond, then everybody else in the chain is sitting there waiting. So it's your responsibility to do this part. And if you know you put in business and you have an upline and you know it's hard to get in touch with the person, you need to just at least reach out to them and say, look, make sure you do this because I need to get paid, right? So that way we're all on the same page. this part here, it tells you, you go to Business Center, right? That's a very, very important tool, I think, right here. You go to my licenses. If you click my licenses, and right here, it tells you that, it gives you the 2 licenses. Now, I made a mistake here because this is actually Rocky's site, and I tried to put my license in with his. This is how I figure out how do I do wrong things, right? So I tried to put my license on his license at the same site. I have my own site, so I actually did clean it up and I put my license to mine. But basically, you're uploading your license here, and I guess when it's time, and maybe Dan or somebody else can talk about this later, when it's time for payroll or whatever, maybe that's when they go in there and they'll make sure that your license is active. So if everybody in the chain does this, then it's very easy to get paid. They don't have to make the phone calls and so forth. I think right now, if people are not doing this, then you have to put your license here, because remember I told you, this is almost 3 different systems, right? So they're not going to go to the Shore LLC for your life license to make sure you're licensed. They're not going to go through SME to make sure you have your PNC license. It's your responsibility to upload your information here, because this is the QS2 site that they're going to check to do everything as far as payroll is concerned. So please upload your license here so they have a copy and they can verify that you are licensed and you can be paid on the licensed products. Okay? The next thing, so this here really, I think this here is really meant for, because of course if you're writing a life product and your name is there, then of course you're a licensed person. But it's not you then on the issue, it's the upline, whoever's supposed to get paid. That's the issue that they need to do this now. As far as the healthcare product, this would be very useful that you make sure you put it in your license with the healthcare, because they're going to see on the actual license, they're going to see all the areas of where you're licensed to do business, right? So if you're a healthcare, it'll show there that you get your full commission and so forth. Let's see here, I think that's about it. So I covered all 3 types of licensing here, and I think I'm done for now. We're going to go, yeah, I'm sorry.
So where it says you click on view and then upload your copy of
Yes.
your license.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing, I'm sorry, real quick. Sales registration, we're gonna go through this more. And I know a lot of you in here that produce business and I don't see your sales registration, and we're gonna go through more of this since I was here, I just didn't show you. So, sales registration, okay, sales registration, you go to Business Center, and right here it says sales registration. You need to register your sales when you're doing anything. The only thing I think you can't register right now is, I don't think you can register your health product yet. I think that's about the only one that I'm aware of. So basically, you will be able to see your whole hierarchy and everything that's actually getting submitted and so forth, right? So you scroll down and you just keep going down. Yours, it'll have all your products that you're doing here, and it does give you pages after pages, which is good.
That's on your phone.
Oh, I gotta go, okay, I'm sorry. So anyway, you can amend, we'll go through this more. Right here, you can go ahead and you can change the dates. All right, so you can customize your report here, right? And you put in the dates and it'll take you back in time. And when you see edit, anything that says edit, that means you can edit. Those are your transactions you put in the system. So you can edit those transactions and update it, meaning when you submit your application one time, it doesn't mean you're done at that point. That means you need to go in and update the system. So what I normally do is, hopefully you don't get a decline, but if you do, you gotta go in there and update it as decline. If you get an approval, you update as approval, and then the next step is actually closing it. So meaning you have the policy in your hand, you've delivered, you send it back to ORG, and you're ready, everything is done, so the company knows that here's another closed one, here's another closed one, so they can look at the pipeline, right? And I think I am done for now. So, any questions?
And this refers to licensed and non-licensed products that you're not registered. That's it?
You can register, yeah, you register. The only thing I know that you can't register right now is the healthcare. Everything else you are able to register.
So should you treat your able to register to make a sale or what's?
As soon as you make a sale, if you submit that, Me personally, as soon as I submit it to ORG, I submit and I go ahead and enter my sales right then and there, so I know it's done. So it's like almost, well, I submit the application to ORG, I order the paramed immediately, which is the medical for the client, and I put it in the system that I've submitted a sale. And then what happens is I will go through ORG site, we'll go through more with ORG later on. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, so we're going to go through with that, and when we're done with that, then you're going to see the entire process. So we're taking you step by step by step today. Okay? Any questions? Anyone?
All right.